Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That was a quick but brisk break, and we saw Ooga Booga take down Dynasty Esports Club. And now for tonight, we will be having Qrackedteam versus Exsto Gaming. The videos are done, and the map they will be playing is Bind. Just a small sneak peek for the time being. Let's check out the head-to-heads real first. Exsto Gaming. For tonight, we have Richard, Somboy, Stranger, LST, and Bajayer. You know who he is. Meanwhile for Qrackedteam, the Donald Duck, Daffy Duck logo, JH Kicks, Left Platypus, Senor Pepe, Mini Farah, Jalen Bay, and Vimy. But a question of which 5 players are playing tonight, we will have to see a little bit later. Let's check out the impact players for Exsto first off. Bajayer, of course, last week versus Dynasty. Admirable performance, 255 combats, standard KD, 4 First Bloods on Killjoy. I think in the previous few weeks he performs much better on the different agents, but don't quote me on that. Now let's check out the impact player for Exsto Gaming. No, not Exsto Gaming, Qrackedteam, who it will be Left Platypus. Last week we played McTeam, 271 combat. 22 kills, 17 deaths, and 4 assists, 4 First Bloods, as Omen. As a result, he is essentially single-handedly the person who took McTeam to 9 rounds. 9 to 13. Now for the videos for tonight. It will be a best of 1 after all. Exsto, the instant ban of Icebox. Come on, guys. We're seeing so many bans on Icebox. I want to see someone actually play Icebox. It's a crazy new map, and whichever team can play Icebox well, they have an instant advantage. Cracked bans Haven, Exsto splits, Cracked Ascent, and finally, the map for tonight will be Bind. So thankfully, we are seeing a different map for tonight. First map was Ascent. Now we will see Bind. A slight change of scenery. Always good to see. And now Exsto, we are still waiting once again for a few players to get into the lobby while we wait. Most of the players for Qrackedteam, they are ready, but instead of one of the players that I mentioned earlier, we do have Fury X in the lobby. So I'm not too sure what the aliases are, but nonetheless, it doesn't quite matter. Now, going by the stats actually for the previous few weeks on these standings, Qrackedteam, look, they haven't exactly had the best run, I will admit. They lost to a McTeam 13-9, and week 1 they lost to Nebula 13-5. And by the way, this was Nebula with a stand-in player. I think that was Berksy week 1. Junior now, he will be standing and playing on Nebula for the time being. Qrackedteam versus Exsto though. Exsto, definitely a stronger team in my opinion. They did lose to Dynasty, who we actually just saw lose to Ooga Booga, 4-13. It was sort of rough, but they did win against Sanguine, 13-10. And you know how I feel about Sanguine. They are a team that, on paper, actually, from what I've seen as well, they've had the time to evolve, and they are a very coordinated team with good execution and communication. And for Exsto to take them out, quite interesting to see. Bajayer, of course, once again, the impact player, like we said earlier, doing so much work. And I do think it was last week, he kept having the Killjoy ultimate on Ascent, could never manage to actually pump it down and use it for quite a few rounds. And it was just, oh sheesh, it had me molding sitting here watching him die every single time, start of the round. Now, all the players actually, they are in the lobby, and I can confirm for you guys right now on the side of Qrackedteam, it will be JH Kicks, Vimy, Senor Pepe, Fury X, and Left Platypus. Exsto Gaming, once again, I will repeat it, Bajayer, LST, Somboy, Stranger, and Motion. Now, guys, just as a short plug, do give the Events Over Time Twitter page a follow. It will be links in the chat description real soon, and you can follow the Twitter page where we will announce the upcoming matches, the results of matches, VODs, any fun tidbits, and of course highlights. Right now, you can see from the previous game, Ooga Booga versus Dynasty, Panic getting his huge ace, just ridiculous, doing all the heavy lifting for the side of Ooga Booga. Of course, I'm a caster, Digital QF. You can follow me on Twitter as well. I'm not the most active person, but I am more active on my Twitch channel. And don't mind my dog there. She's getting a little bit excited that we are about to see the matchup of Exsto versus Cracked. Just checking with production right now because the team's just taking a little bit longer to get ready. Perhaps some players, they do need to warm up. One team they have called the R, which will be Exsto. So waiting on Cracked. There you go. Both teams, actually, they have called the R, and we should be going into Bind. The only map for tonight, as you can see, both teams, they always ban Icebox. I hate to see it. I really do want to see it get played at some point in the Journeyman League. So if any teams are watching right now, this is your cue. Icebox. Attackers and defenders, Exsto, you have them on defense, starting off with Qrackedteam on the attack. Now, the map is Bind, and Omen, he's definitely interchangeable to an extent with Brimstone. Brimstone with the 3 smokes. They don't recharge. The orbital strike to clear angles and the Molotov lineups definitely possible on a map like Bind. Omen, however, it's a bit of a comfort pick of sorts. You can cross-map TP with his ultimates. The paranoia is to buy time and to clear angles, but overall, in my opinion, I think Brimstone is a stronger smoke pick on Bind. Bejayer looking to play Cypher over Killjoy. LST toying with the Breach. Now, I'm not sure if you guys watched the Oceanic Tour semifinals, but Pilski, he did mention he thinks Breach, in his opinion, is probably the best character in the game, assuming a team can play him well with good coordination. Because Breach plus motion on the Jet, deadly combination. Instant flash, 2 seconds, the enemies are blinded, and Jet just dashes in, picking up kills left, right, and center. Of course, Sova on both teams, essential picks, and Senor Pepe with the Sage as well. Not an agent you always see on Bind, but definitely there are compositions that make her work. Cracked as well. I just want to bring up Vimy playing Killjoy as opposed to Bajayer's Cypher. Now, Bajayer, I'm pretty sure week 1 we saw him play a more aggressive agent, but ever since then, he is definitely taking a step back and looking to play more defense with Sentinels for his team. Cracked on the attack, starting off, already having their Sentinel Killjoy lurk towards the A site, have utility down. Meanwhile, 4 players, they're looking to take control, map control towards B. Ideally, get the ult orb, which is what all teams should be doing early on. Exto, however, 3 players already on the B defense. You have a Cypher playing really aggressive and 2 players. It will be Somboy and Stranger, Omen and Sova, playing out towards B long. Really aggressive smoke and positioning from Somboy, actually. That's brilliant with this Sova arrow. It scans Senor Pepe, and that's such an early, easy pick. I wasn't expecting that. I've never seen a team do this till now. Somboy, he instantly just ran down B long. Brilliant. Bullets are exchanged, and that's 2 smokes of the defenders already used for the B long angle and the flank coming out from Exto now. The buddy system as well. JH Kicks is gone. Cracked. They're down 2 players. Left file is going to have to use the paranoia in this situation just to try get the spike back. He does finally get a bullet into the spine of Motion, but the defenders, they are swarming in. They know where the spike is, and one at a time, they'll be pinching the last player. It will be Vimy with only a classic at that distance. Does land 1 hit onto Stranger, but the Killjoy turret won't be good for much. But Jair goes for the fast swing with the fast gun frenzy, takes him down. Exto, that round, seriously, it swung in their favor, all due to the early round aggression from Somboy and Stranger. Fantastic strat. One player pushes down hard, the other player with the Sova Recon arrow spots out a few players in the smoke, and it's just one-way kills. Meanwhile, when that happens, Qrackedteam, they get distracted there and they start freaking out. They start focusing towards B long, and that is what allows Exto, Motion, and LST to flank around A and pinch Cracked. Exo again, another crazy strat. 3 players this time into Bath. It will be only 1 player. They send you Pepe. I think actually managed to think all 3 players who were challenging him on Exo. Granted, it was a classic, so not think for much, but you don't see that often now. It's only round 2, and we've seen crazy things from both teams this early on. Cracked. They lost their Sage, and they are down a player. Double duty for the players outside B long to perhaps get the ult orb at this point, which has been taken by Vimy. You want that Killjoy lockdown to be available. Good damage onto LST will force them back into a more defensive position. However, Exto, they still have 3 players on the A side with superior guns. Left player plus, that's a smoke, not a paranoia. Motion. Oh, he could have been playing off of the LST's breach flash. Doesn't quite check around the box though. I don't think after all that Omen smokes are visible to the enemy team. Left player plus goes for the swing and takes down Motion. Surprise with the classic right clicks. Exo Gaming, the rotations are coming over. And it was a TP, but however, it was real. It wasn't really a fake. Stranger, it doesn't matter. He's still holding that long angle with the Ares, sprays down Vimy. It's down to the last 3 players of Cracked. LST, I don't actually think he managed to see JH kicks. Good side for Cam Dart. And Bajayo nets himself 2 kills. All down to JH kicks, who does manage to finish off LST and was tagged earlier by his teammates. 24 HP though, 5 seconds. I do think it is prudent for him to die, as you don't tend to get as much of a economy bonus staying alive. Now the timer did tick away, and he got 1 kill, so perhaps not all is lost. That will be 100 credits extra for him to work with, and a Spectre to hold on to. And as you can see on the economy, JH kicks, as a result for staying alive that previous round, he won't be able to buy full armor and a rifle. The rest of his team, however, it's a different story. They can buy armor and rifles, and Exto, losing very minimal players, only LST that round. Well, 2 players, LST and Zomboy. They will be playing the bonus. Motion, aggressive play with LSD. Of course, the breach flash is giving him positioning. A second one actually, but Motion, he's a little bit late. Couldn't quite get the kill on the Omen, sneaking around, taking advantage. Now LSD, he's stuck in the corner. No flashes to work with. And Drax, they are chiming in. They have him surrounded. This is disastrous early on for Exto. They've already lost 2 players off of early round aggression. That's money. And that's utility gone. Stranger by himself, going to have to fall back on the A site and wait for his teammates to group up and help him in retaking the sites. Spike is being planted by left player plus. There's still 5 players standing up Cracked. Stranger, you have the Ares, World War II style, but at that distance, it's quite hard to land the shots. Oh, he does finish JH kicks, but he himself taking a lot of damage. Exto, fast on this retake helmet. They're doing a lot of damage, not quite getting kills just yet. Senor Pepe with the Sage Slow Orb, it will buy time, and the Spike is steadily ticking away all the last 3 players of Exto. In the U-Haul angle, they're pushing on, and so much utility is blocking vision. Senor Pepe, he's gonna have to hold this angle and get the shots at Somboy. It doesn't matter because Somboy, he pushes right through his smoke and picks up 2 headshots onto Cracked. And this is 3 rounds gone away of Exto. This was their bonus round as well. Cracked, oh dear me, that was disastrous. Most teams, you shouldn't be looking to lose your buy round early on as well. They got 2 initial picks, LST and Motion, 5v3, and they couldn't hold the post plant versus 3 players with inferior guns just rushing on. They didn't have U-Haul control. They had only 1 player playing in there, and he gets taken down. No trades. Exto, largely due to Songboy and a stroke of luck, he pushes right through a smoke and picks up the last 3 players. Motion, of course, with the superior gun, takes 1 and it's just trade backs back and forth. Senor Pepe with the Marshall, doing great work for his team. Playing headshot and LST now, already on 62 HP, getting tagged. He'll have to wait for backup and play defensively. And already a flank, 2 players from Exto and left player plus. He was holding the angle. Not quite expecting a second though. Walks around to the crosshairs of Bajayo LSD. That was his last flashpoint. 2 players. Now that neural theft will reveal positioning. It's a great aftershock as well, just to deny positioning inside the angle. Recon arrow will scan and shows that no one is close. But Jared, this is a huge flank. Clean shot onto Fury X. All down to Vimy by himself. Half armor and a Vandal. 1v3. 2 players about to group in on him. The spike is visible to Bajaya, so Vimy has to reclaim that spike as well as deal with so many players. And Bajaya, being patient, nets himself 3 kills. And currently 4-0 for Exsto. For ultimates, we see Exsto, Sunboy, Stranger, and LST already 1 point each off of having their respective ultimates from the Shadows, Hunter's Fury, and Rolling Thunder. LST, of course, with the most valuable of the bunch. Rolling Thunder, multi-purposeful. You can use it for a site take or a site retake. Meanwhile, Cracked, very similar ult economy-wise. Vimy, already 1 point off. We should ideally be seeing Cracked have support to get to net Vimy that Killjoy lockdown. Left platypus. Sorry, JH kicks. Using operator long distance. Will land the shot. That's a wallbangable box though. LST not daring to go for the refrag. 1 player up for Cracked. I think they're going really slow. The Eldrone really close. Doesn't quite manage to get to tag onto Bajaya, but at least Fury X, he does use 2 pieces of utility to confirm that Bajaya is indeed in the hookah angle. And they fall back! 5 players of Cracks, the whole team, starting to gear up towards the B splits. Looking to be 4 players, all the way out B long. And only 2 of Exto. Oh my god, to hold down the defense. And Stranger, everyone heard that. A single shot, the 1 tap, takes down Vimy with the Killjoy lockdown. Strangely enough, no rotations coming out yet from Exto. Only now does LST come over as utility is being thrown to side the Paranoia and the Recon Arrow. Recon Arrow from the defenders will expose 1 player, Bajaya and Sunboy all shipping in. Bajaya spraying through, trying to get some wallbang damage, almost getting another. But it was Stranger who will finish the job for Exto, and currently they are going uncontested, flawless. Cracks. They can't even get the spike planted anymore. On the bright side though, Cracked, they have 4 ultimates, about to approach 5 with Senor Pepe. All he needs is a single ultimate orb, and he will have the resurrection available. But the economy for Cracked definitely not looking good. They will have to half buy this and ideally have enough money to play the next round with full utility and armor. Now it's interesting to see Left Platypus. He was holding the Phantom, thankfully does finally sell it last second. Exo. Economy is good, ultimates are good, and the rounds, of course, not much to be said in that department. Exto, yeah, their jet motion has already pushed so far behind the enemy lines. That Killjoy turret, it will be the alarm bot who will alert Vimy. And oh, it's the Sheriff, couldn't quite land the shot, and motion uses the jet dash to escape. And does net the kill finally onto Vimy. No Killjoy lockdown, 2 rounds in a row. Motion narrowly sees Senor Pepe and goes for the greedy, aggressive pick. Senor Pepe does have the Marshal and catches him Motion off guard. 4 ultimates now for Cracked. And Senor Pepe, there you go, the resurrection comes out. Now the man advantage as well with 4 ultimates. The Killjoy lockdown should allow them to take the B sites, as we are seeing them gear up to go towards B. Rotation's not quite coming out from Exto. Mildly concerning, but that's a huge flank actually if it works out. Oh, it does. Zomboy. ETB's far behind the MA lines, and right now they could be pinching the attackers. Bajaya, good initial kill into left platypus. And Zomboy, oh, what are you doing? You're walking into the Killjoy lockdown, which does get destroyed by the Hunter's Fury. Zomboy sees 1 TP away, manages to nab himself the ult orb as well. 10 seconds left. Time is very short. I don't think that Cracks, they can make it onto site and plant the spike. It's going to be really close. About 4 seconds, and the spike will get slammed down. And I don't think he has the time. No, he doesn't. There was a spike plant, and now Exto, they all chime in and get the kills, losing only 1 player early on, who was Motion. And Motion, he didn't make it free for Cracked. Cracked, as opposed to their team name, they can't quite figure out the defensive strategy of Exto. They can't get anything to work. They're always losing players early on. And in the previous round, the spike couldn't even be planted in time. It's just nothing is going their way this round. They had 5 ultimates that previous round as well. Granted, they were on a half buy, an eco, but it's just a shame to see these investments. Motion, it's one-way smoke, and actually sees the bottom half of Vinny. Thankfully, though, for Crack, they will have a Sage to go for the heals. And Qrackedteam, my god, now has the operator catch Someboy by surprise. Someboy trying to copy Stranger with the 1-taps. Doesn't quite work out in his favor. Some Motion, though, does avenge his fallen teammates. It's interesting to see on the attacking side of Qrackedteam, he does have the operator, which it's a bit of a it's a mixed bag, because sure, you can get long range picks, but at the same time, when you aggress onto a site, you definitely don't want the operator during a push. Good read by Cracks, as they will be aggressing over towards the B site, but Jay are playing really passive defense towards Elbow, using a Cypher utility, hopefully to buy time. A Cyber Cage towards Elbow, because once that tripwire gets triggered, he can pop the cage. Now, that's great by Crack to use the L drone to pop the tripwire, and even the Sage will as well. It will force essentially Bajero to be patient and play retake with his teammates. Early bowling thunder by LC, who does pick up 2 and 3, and the entire team of Exsto, they clean sweep Cracked for yet another round. Flawless thus far. 7. It's not over yet for Cracked, as they can pick up the remaining few in the first half and look to win the pistol in the second to tie things up. But the economy, they haven't been able to get anything running all game. They can half buy in, they can half armor and rifle buy into this round, but Exsto, everyone is rich, everyone is balling, as no one has really died. They've been losing on average 1 player per round for the previous 4 or 5 rounds now. Motion, operator now, holding that angle, and Vimy with a full body peek gets taken down promptly. Exsto, mass rotation, 4 players already on the A side versus the 4 of Cracked, who are trying to get something to work for them out towards A. All 4 funneling in through showers and LSD. All he needs is 1 flashpoint, and it will be a fiesta for him in that angle. Stranger, double duty with LST, and that recon arrow actually might scan into showers. I'm not too sure where he shot it into. Out of showers. Doesn't quite scan the players. LST, he's aware. Oh, he spots out 3, and he's getting panicked a little bit. Has to use the flash points to blind a few players. Doesn't catch Senor Pepe though. And the players of actually Cracked, they are dodging these flashes. They hear it coming. Someboy great spray through the wall, and will be him to pick up the last 2 kills. Flawless round for Exto now. As we go later on into this game, we are seeing Exto lose less and less players per round. But Jagger, the impacts player for Exto, once again sitting at the top, 11 kills, and almost about to have the neural theft again. Money is not an issue for Exto. We've established that. Nothing to be said here. Motion, of course, Jet operator this time. Won't be playing A, looking to play on the B long angle to catch, once again, Cracked by surprise. Keep them on their toes. Qrackedteam, the opposing Jet. That's a really big investment. Half armor, all his money to buy the operator. Once again, the same play, the recon arrow, and Somboy pushes into a smoke and picks up a kill. It's such a rehearsed strat from Exto, but Somboy goes for a little bit more, and that will be the resurrection from Senor Pepe. Motion, holding the angle, and Senor Pepe, oh dearie me, goes for the resurrection, and he instantly gets killed. The man advantage is all tied up 4-4, but the ultimates for Cracked looking very healthy. Especially eyeballing that Hunter's Fury. It will be great for a post-plant defense. And LSD, he heard the footsteps trudging around A main, and we will call for a rotation. Smartly decides to not use his utility just yet. Save it for the retake. Fault line as well, just to delay a few players. And LST, the aftershock, it might actually clear a few players off guard. Oh, it will kill left platypus. He couldn't run out of its radius in time. LST, slow peek, takes down Vimy. It's all down to the last 2 players of Cracked to make this round work. The defuse has been stuck briefly, and the Hunter's Fury as well. JH Kicks really aware of a flank potentially. Not that it comes through. Fury X. Oh! With the Hunter's Fury. And JH Kicks cleans up with 3 from the Blade Storm. Great investment with that ultimate. And will net Cracked Team the first round on the board. Better late than never. 3 rounds left in the first half. Exsto. They can afford to sustain back into this round, as we've established with their strong money situation. And LST, again, in the previous round, he only had flash points and a fault line to work with, but now he's 1 point off of having the Rolling Thunder, and we've seen how good he is getting kills on defense. Only needs 1, and the retake going to be really possible for Exsto. Motion staying out of range of the turret. This is going to be great because it will lull one of the players into a false sense of security. And LST, what are you doing, man? You walk right in front of your teammate and Vimy will get the kill on you. Yes, now you do have the Rolling Thunder available, but you've lost your life. There's no Sage on your team to resurrect. Vimy, he himself now will have the Killjoy lockdown. And it's just cracks. They're all over the map. You have 2 players. Working hookah. Senor Pepe, he's made it onto the B site. Walking through and clearing it. And this is huge. If you can get a flank or over towards elbow, in which they have confirmed there is a player there, B site will be clean for the taking. And this is so close as well. Somboy, he's spraying through it. Senor Pepe still on the slow walk with the Phantom. About to pop a bullet into Somboy's spine. Spike is going to get planted, and Somboy does actually manage to get the kill. And who was netting a second onto Senor Pepe? Senor Pepe not there to support his teammate. The Killjoy lockdown won't be invested just for the site take. But Cracked. They are 4v2. 2-man advantage. This round really looking in their favor. Stranger, 15 seconds till he can use the Sova Recon Arrow. Now it's all down to him. Maybe headshot takes him down. And Cracked, we're starting to see signs of life. They're building up a little bit of rounds now. A little bit of economy. 2 rounds back to back. If they can finish the first half with 4, it's not the end of the world. JH Kicks now, the operator. Boom, invested. Still on the attacker's side, which once again I've mixed feelings about, because as the attackers, you should be looking to go fast and dirty onto the site, especially as Jet and one of those dive agents to make space for your team. And operator won't really allow you to dive onto the site. It will require you to hold angles and play passive. Now I like that actually from Exo. They're playing really aggressive now, showing a push with 3 players over towards B main using the fault line initially from LST, followed immediately by the TP. Cracked. They will be forced on the defensive. And the buddy system as well, not letting any player go alone. But Vimy, very close to Somboy. One at a time, we are seeing 3 players of Cracked starting to edge towards the B side just to perhaps sell a fake. Fire shots, use utility. Finally, the spike is being ferried over though. And Exto, they do have the manpower in position for the retake. Don't forget as well, LST, he has the Rolling Thunder. So as soon as the spike gets planted, or even starts to get ticked, the Rolling Thunder will be used. Vimy, he's not aware. That Somboy is so close, right on him. Now it's all down to whether or not the players of Cracked, they check this angle as they jump out. They're exchanging bullets. Notice how Exto they're playing really patient. Somboy good for 1. He will have to get out of there now because his position has been revealed. Does get out, and the trade backs instantaneously by Pepe. LST, that's the Rolling Thunder gone. For Jair, there's 2 people holding your angle, but the time is ticking down for Jair. All he has to do is net 1 kill almost for a second. It doesn't matter because Motion was there to help out his teammate. Exto, they pinch Cracked again, and they pick up the 9th round.
Last round in the half.
LST, it was a shame that round he couldn't use the Rolling Thunder, but when you have teammates as effective as Bajair and Motion to pick up the frags, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Cracked. Oh dear, it's the last round now. You might as well invest everything into it. Try to get as many as you can. Senor Pepe. one more point off of having the resurrection and motion. Oh, that was your teammates, but doesn't matter. It gets a clean straight transfer onto 2 players of Cracked. Looking for now, looking for more. LSD with the flashpoints, still creating such a thorn in the sides of Cracked. JH kicks once again on the operator, holding the angle. His teammates have to aggress. He is Jet after all. Does get a quick scope onto LST and a Jet dash, just for good measure. But Cracked, they've lost so many players now. They are a man down. Not aware that a stranger, he was in the smoke. He saw the gun barrel of Vimy and takes him down. Down to JX by himself. Only operator to work with and unscopes at the worst of times. But Jair nets himself an easy frag. 10 for Exto now. Exto finishing the first half in fantastic fashion. They're up by 8 rounds and Cracked. The onus is seriously on them now. Make something happen. A comeback is still possible, but an 8-round deficit. It's definitely not where you want to be in the second half. This is the pistol, and they are on the defense. Exo, if they have a strat just as crazy as their Omen, Somboy, Smoke plus Stranger, Recon Arrow play, then I'm very concerned for Cracked. Oh no, Senor Pepe, the Sage Wall gets destroyed, and they now know that one player has a shorty, so they won't be playing those close range engagements, instead leveraging their pistols to play distance. Motion, very aware. And holding the angle, Senor Pepe walks right into his arms and gets tapped down. Exto, they are up a player, and the sight take going onto the A site. Motion, good for a 2 now. This is what we like to see out of a Jet, creating space for a team, being aggressive, pushing on. Motion, so much aggression. He's already flanked into behind U-Hole. Fury X had no idea. JH kicks finally with the first kill back. Now 3 players of Exto are very tagged, but Motion, he's got 4 kills now. He wants the ace at this point. He's tapping away. Vimy, so low. It won't be him to get the final kill as Stranger will get the wall bang onto Vimy. He was stuck in the corner between a rock and a hard place. 11 rounds for Exto. Cracked. They're not able to get anything. They just can't stand to the aggression, to the ferocity of Exto. Exto, of course, after winning the pistol, it will be full armor. And SMGs with Stranger on the Ares. Now, personally, I'm not too sure how much good an Ares will do for you on the attacker side, as most Sobers, they use the Ares for the wallbang penetration. Somboy going really aggressive, not checking behind him. AJ kicks will net himself a kill. The trade back by Motion. They know there is at least one more player in the form of Vimy towards the... Wow! Hookah angle of Vimy with a swing. Right click onto Motion. That's a man advantage going the way of Cracked. Not for long though, because Bajayer chases up those 3 players on the teleport and getting the kills. Now the players of Cracked, they're all surrounded. It's all down to the last player, Bajayer there to finish the job. Done and dusted. Match point for Exto. Cracked. This is the end of the line at this point. They will be able to buy armor and rifles, but 10 rounds back to back, no mistakes. It takes one hell of an effort to make that to happen. Exto, of course, you have a 10-round buffer. Be comfortable, have fun, play with whatever guns you want at this point. The bonus round, no problem. Motion, looking to indeed take my words into effect with the Judge and the Blade Storms. And your Pepe, good timing with the Sage Wall, but however, not for long, because a Bucky on the hands of the attackers will swiftly dispatch of those walls. And JH kicks, he dashed into the wrong angle, couldn't quite escape into Octagon, and Stranger just nets himself a spray down. But Jair avenging his dead teammate Motion, who does get taken down by the close-range Judge. But the sights will be taken by Exto, and Somboy about to plant the spike. Cracked, you're down a player, and you have to retake. With only 1 Paranoia, and Smokes to work with Fury X, already off to a good start, but goes a little bit too far, and LSD takes him down. They had the numbers tied up, but now it's all on the last 2 players. Left Platypus, And Vimy, good paranoia to clear one angle, but he's still to clear close though. Vimy, oh! Trying to go for the defuse while left of the player plus does the heavy lifting here. Almost for a second. Still sends Vimy now by himself. Trying to stick it through the smoke. And it won't come to fruition. LST finishes that round with 3 kills. And there you go. The 13-2 going the way of Exsto. Cracks just simply could not stand against the coordination and the ferocity that Exsto showed us tonight. I really like the strat. That was my highlight of tonight, definitely. Somboy with Stranger early on. An Omen smoke down B long, and then Stranger with the recon arrow, perfect timing. It allows Somboy just to go so aggressive and just net easy kills time and time again. It has to be so surprising for Cracked. I bet they have never encountered that ever, even in scrims. Well, Exto, well-deserved. The good strats and the good teamwork allows them to win this game handily. Bejayer, of course, impact player again, 17 kills as Cypher, leading the pack. He doesn't get the most first bloods, but that is the job of Motion after all. 5 on him. Well, guys, it was fun. Yet again, another day of the Events Over Time Journeyman League. We are still in Season 1, but good news is we are halfway through, so things will be getting heated up a little bit more towards the end. Because at the very end, it will be a $600 prize pool for the grand finals. Whichever team of the round robins they can net the most wins, it will be up to them to go toe-to-toe to bring home that fat cash prize. Today, we saw 4 teams give it their all, and we saw 2 teams come out on top. Tomorrow, of course, same times, it will be Qrackedteam versus Sanguine and McTeam versus Nebula. Tonight's Dynasty Ooga Booga, Exsto and Qrackedteam done and dusted. Of course, guys, if you want to see more clearly for stats and the rosters and future schedules, do follow the Events Over Time Twitter page. They will be posting all the schedules and other relevant information. It will be linked in the Twitch chat. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. I'm your caster, Digital QF. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next time.